Make sure y'all get this video a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Mob Nasty, what's up? Just getting my setup ready and stuff. Make sure y'all get this video a thumbs up. Really appreciate it if you do. I got y'all blunts ready. Got the book ready. So hey, shout out to you, Andrew, coming through once again. Everything going good with me. No complaints at all today. 8 people in here, only 2 likes. Come on, man. Help a brother out, man. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But we're gonna continue off where we left off yesterday. Hopefully, I don't do as much talking as I did yesterday, because we listened to like 20 minutes of the book and I was talking for like 2.5 hours. So hopefully we can get through with the book without me running my big mouth, but I doubt it. It must be haters in here that's not liking the video. It's probably somebody who don't really like me in here. Like, they ain't hit the like button. They just here to see if I'm what I want to talk about.
Shall relief, mercy, and supplication be thine, on account of the oppression which thou hast taught, and on account of every act of blasphemy, tyranny, and sin which thou hast discovered to the children of men. Then, departing from him, I spoke to them all together, and they all became terrified and trembled, beseeching me to write for them a memorial of supplication, that they might obtain forgiveness, and that I might make the memorial of their prayer ascend up before the God of heaven, because they could not themselves thenceforwards address him, nor raise up their eyes to heaven on account of the disgraceful offense for which they were judged. Then I wrote a memorial of their prayer and supplication, for their spirits, for everything which they had done, and for the subject of their entreaty, that they might obtain remission and rest. Proceeding on, I continued over the waters of Danbadan, which is on the right, to the west of Armand, reading the memorial of their prayer until I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions appeared above.
I'm 5'7" with a 6'9" complexion. I feel like I'm 6'9", but I'm only 5'7", so.
Me. I fell down and saw a vision of punishment, that I might relate it to the sons of heaven and reprove them. When I awoke, I went to them. All being collected together stood weeping in Ubel-Seel, which is situated between Libanus and Sinezer, with their faces veiled. I related in their presence all the visions which I had seen, and my dream, and began to utter these words of righteousness, reproving the watchers of heaven. Chapter 14. This is the book of the words of righteousness, and of the reproof of the watchers, who belong to the world, according to that which he who is holy and great commanded in the vision. I perceived in my dream that I was now speaking with a tongue of flesh, and with my breath, which the Mighty One has put into the mouth of men, that they might converse with it, and understand with the heart, as he has created and given to men the power of comprehending the word of understanding, so he has created and given to me the power of reproving the watchers, the offspring of heaven. I have written your petition, and in my vision it has been shown me that what you request will not be granted you as long as the world endures. Judgment has been passed upon you. Your request will not be granted you. From this time forward, never shall you ascend into heaven. He has said that on the earth he will bind you as long as the world endures. But before these things you shall behold the destruction of your beloved sons. You shall not possess them, but they shall fall before you by the sword. Neither shall you entreat for them, nor for yourselves. But you shall weep and supplicate in silence the words of the book which I wrote. A vision thus appeared to me.
What book did God write?
Behold, in that vision clouds and a mist invited me. Agitated stars and flashes of lightning impelled and pressed me forwards, while winds in the vision assisted my flight, accelerating my progress. They elevated me aloft to heaven. I proceeded until I arrived at a wall built with stones of crystal. A vibrating flame surrounded it, which began to strike me with terror. Into this vibrating flame I entered,
No problem at
and
all,
drew
bro.
nigh to a spacious
Got a lot
habitation
going.
built
You doing,
also
bro?
with stones of crystal.
Shit.
Its walls, too, as well as pavement, were formed with stones of crystal, and crystal likewise was the ground. Its roof had the appearance of agitated stars and flashes of lightning, and among them were cherubim of fire in a stormy sky. A flame burned around its walls, and its portal blazed with fire. When I entered into this dwelling, it was hot as fire and cold as ice. No trace of delight or life was there. Terror overwhelmed me, and a fearful shaking seized me. Violently agitated and trembling, I fell upon my face. In the vision I looked, and behold, there was another habitation more spacious
You
than the
know what I
former.
realized? This is about Enoch, right? He's talking all about visions and dreams. Yeah. Like he literally only talking about visions and dreams. I don't think he met God and like flesh wise while he was woke or anything. So how do we know like the dreams he was seeing was true? Like how do we know God was giving him what he say he saw? Like how he don't know that came from something else? Like so that was probably just his interpretation at the time. Like,
Every entrance to which was open before me, erected in the midst of a vibrating flame. So greatly did it excel in all points, in glory, in magnificence, and in magnitude, that it is impossible to describe to you either the splendor or the extent of it. Its floor was on fire. Above were lightnings and
one
agitated
of them,
stars,
man.
while its roof exhibited a blazing fire. Attentively
Shout
I
out to Mr.
surveyed it,
Everest coming
and
through.
saw that
Yeah.
it contained an exalted throne, the appearance of which was like that of frost, while its circumference resembled the orb of the brilliant sun, and there was the voice of the cherubim. From underneath this mighty throne, rivers of flaming fire issued. To look upon it was impossible. One great in glory sat upon it, whose robe was brighter than the sun and whiter than snow.
If you can't look
No
at
angel.
God, you can't see how do you know what you're looking at. These are basically all. This is all he say, she say. How you know he wasn't on psychedelics, tripping, seeing shit? Bro, what you talked about yesterday about karma made a lot of sense to me recently. Shit, enlighten me. Shit, what happened? Like, cause I know I remember us talking about karma and shit, different shit, and like how things turn out in life. But like, was there something in your life that happened that made you like, oh shit, that makes a lot of sense? But yeah, like nobody, even I don't think the angels could look at God up close. Like so, if this is that, how do you know it's a man? How do you know if it's not a woman? How do you know anything? Like you can't even look upon the creator. Learn that you're a mind decision creature. That's a fact. It's all about your mind and what you visualize for yourself. People don't understand quote unquote psychics can read your future by just knowing your life. Like, they can know your future by just you telling them your story. That's not psychicness, but they can understand that fucking if we repeat cycles. So anything that's repeating in your life, well, if you don't change it, it'll repeat. Like you'll continue to live the same, live in the same cycles and all of that confusion and all that BS. But
Was capable of penetrating to view the face of him, the glorious and the effulgent. nor could any mortal behold him. A fire was flaming around him. A fire also of great extent continued to rise up before him, so that not one of those who surrounded him was capable of approaching him, among the myriads of myriads who were before him. To him,
Oh, so it
holy
was
consol.
something like you experienced last week, and you like look back on it and like, oh shit. So you don't really have no. Let me get this point straight. Nobody really can tame their mind. You can't tame it. You can't make it think nothing but positive thoughts. For the simple fact, the mind is a collective mind. Like it's consciousness. Everybody's tapped into this one infinite mind source. So the thoughts that be coming to you don't only come to you, and they don't only come from you. They come from different sources, whether it's people, God, whatever you believe in, ancestors, spirit guides. Like people are always communicating with you these different thoughts. Well, not just thoughts, but just they're communicating with you. And thoughts is one of the prevalent things. That's how they was communicating long time ago. Like it wasn't through words. Oh yeah, see that's a big thing. Yep, like feeding the wrong thought. Like when a negative thought come into your mind, you like kind of overthink it and shit. Like or you just think on it way too long, and that's how you manifest shit consciously. Yeah. So that's what people really need to wake up on. Like the on an average day, the thoughts that you think, what are those thoughts you thinking? What are you thinking about? Is it something that can help you in your life? Or is it something that's gonna hold you back, continue to help you keep manifesting more bullshit in your life? Like so before, like when I was in church, I didn't know that. I didn't know I could like basically control my mind. I can't, like I said, you can't tame it, but you can control it to a sense. Like when you realize, oh shit, I'm thinking negative again. Let me stop this. That's why yesterday I was just talking about different techniques that help me to help me get rid of my negative thinking. And I don't think that negative at all. Like I think have more positive thoughts overall, but sometimes you get that negative shit that come pop up in your head trying to ruin your day, ruin your life. But I don't know. I never let it last. So
Temptation was needless. Yet did not the sanctified who were near him depart far from him, either by night or by day, nor were they removed from him.
make sure y'all
I also was
button.
so far advanced, with a veil on my face, and trembling. Then the Lord with his own mouth called me, saying, Approach hither, Enoch, at my holy word.
Hey.
And he raised me up.
I mentioned it plenty of times before on my podcast, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it on my YouTube too. But it's about standing guard at the door of your mind, like letting nothing negative like in. Like you gotta be like a bouncer at the club. If you ain't positive, you can't get in here. Like so that means a negative thought will pop up. But you gotta be standing there, like guarding your mind, like making sure no bullshit come through. Like, cause most people they just got the door wide open and shit just going hectic and chaos. How to make a decent life and fight through depression? All you gotta do is visualize it. Hold that vision. Like literally, hold the vision of what you want in life, and I'm 100% sure you'll manifest it. It's not gonna come exactly when you want it. Like I'm telling, when I learned about the law of attraction in 2017, like I was manifesting little shit like parking spots, like open parking spots close to Walmart, like just small shit to help me build my beliefs up till I was able to get to the point where like shit now big shit manifests. Yeah, because of course if spiritualized you can't see spirits either. You just can't. They not these physical eyes only are able to see like so much. It's a spirit, like it's not a man. But in the book or the Bible, it goes by man. God is a man. So if God is a man, that means he's like us, right? So it was a man who wrote this book, right? Like so, we don't even from the Bible days. God never popped up to them and like should say, "Here I am." He was still like not showing himself. So once again, how do we know with these people who was communicating thousands of years ago what they was talking about was the right shit? Like we don't. Like so that's why I said this is like don't take this book too literal, because you just don't have the proof. Like, how can you have beliefs of man thousands of years ago, but none of that still repeats today? Like, none of them seen God. Like, they was just all going off blind faith and like just being followers. So
making me draw near even to the entrance. My eye was directed to the ground. Chapter 15. Then, addressing me, he spoke and said, Hear, neither be afraid, O righteous Enoch. Thou scribe of righteousness, approach hither, and hear my voice. Go, say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent thee to pray for them, you ought to pray for men, and not men for you. Wherefore have you forsaken the lofty and holy heaven, which endures forever, and have lain with women, have defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, have taken to yourselves
is that why
wives,
priests don't
have
get
acted
married?
like the sons of the
Like,
earth.
is that why like certain like in I can't say all Catholic, but because I'm not a Catholic, but certain priests I know they can't get married, like the Pope and shit, like the cardinals. They're not married men. Like, what? Why is it that it seemed like being with a woman is so bad in the Bible? It's like they kind of like low key, like sausage fest up there. Something I ain't cool with. I love women. I love my wife. I love my daughters. Wouldn't be here without one. Like, so why does it seem like the Bible just, I don't know, it's like shits on women? Like, just the first two books is nothing, no positive woman in that book. In Genesis or fucking Exodus, there's absolutely no woman like they think highly of, speak highly of. Hmm. Oh yeah, you said they can't. Yeah, maybe they can't control. Maybe I had to sit because it was at a point in time in my life that was a case too. I couldn't control myself, so that's not an issue. I could be around the baddest woman in the world. Well, that is my like my wife is the baddest woman. But overall, just saying like that, I could be around Beyonce and like she'll get butt ass naked. Like I wouldn't even get hard. Not that she's ugly or nothing, but that's not like I'm not interested in. You can't you can't trick me by sex now. Like before, like I could have sold my soul off the strength of a woman like offering me sex and me just fall into a trap. Like now, like that's not the case. Like no woman can seduce me. Like literally, there's absolutely no woman that can seduce me. Like so, but before I was 29, 28, like that wasn't the case. Like I was always falling into the trap. Like shit. Exactly. So it took me a while. Like I messed up. I mean, fucked up a lot in my journey by not being able to control myself. Like just off that. So most men are like that. Shout out to Dance Tonight coming through once again. Like all men can't do that. Can't control themselves. Now, what if God come and try to test me and like with some chick like Beyonce? Nah, I'm good though. I'll be passing my test through life like it's all just another test. That's what Nipsey Hussle said. Passing through the stages of life in the ups and downs like it's all just another test. That's what I realized. This is all there is. I mean, that's all Earth is a fucking test. Every obstacle in your life, every enemy, every whatever. My bad, y'all. It's just something meant to test you, to teach you. Once you realize that everybody that comes into your life is meant to teach you something, like you could stop looking at people as like bad people, good people, or bad experience, good experience, and it's all for sure. Man, I read somewhere in the past, I'm not for sure, They say when you cough, when you smoke, it gets you higher. Like so, I never was like had an issue with just coughing, but doing it on live, like usually the average, my average lives be got will have like 200 views, get 200 views. So that means 200 people like literally clicking in to like support my channel. But my average shorts, those are like at least 1,000 views. So I'm like, I got at least on an average day, I have at least, well, the past 6 days, I've been getting 300,000 views plus a day. Like, so for the past 6 days. So that means, like, if I'm pretty sure it's not just 300 different thousand people, of course, but there's a lot of people that's tuning in to like what I'm posting, what I'm putting out there. Like, so from 200 to 300,000 like views or whatever, like I'm happy with it all because like it shows a testament, like I'm doing what I came here to do, like every single day, like every day that I'm alive. I'm not sick, I'm not in no bad position, I'm healthy, got everything I need. Like shit, why wouldn't I continue to do this, add this, like, cause like I said, what I'm doing on YouTube and podcasts and all that, that's for legacy's sake. I want to be able to be 50, 60 years old and go back and just hear 30-year-old Kenneth talking, watch, see, probably critiquing like the things I could have did better, said better, but that's just all like with growth and like, I don't know. At first, I used to hate being on video. I used to hate taking pictures. I mean, I used to take pictures for myself, but I didn't take a lot of pictures. But now I'm like, fuck that shit. I don't want to die and be forgotten like so many other people like that didn't do nothing but work a job. Like that's kind of fucking sucks. Cause then you gonna come back, and if you don't break that cycle, you gonna do that shit again. Like so, that's slavery. Like that's why that last slavery where the black people got. I mean, that wasn't the last. There's still slavery going on today, but the slavery where the black people were slaves in Africa, that really fucked up a lot of people mentally because like I said, we keep reincarnating, so they're still stuck in slavery. That's why they can't do nothing but work a 9 to 5. That's all they know. Once again, karma. It's the reason why they even was slaves in the first place. Like so, can't get mad at shit that happened in life at all, no matter what, no matter what it seems like at the moment. Because sometimes it just seems like some bad shit that happened in the moment. You just control and will react how you react, and you can't. I mean, of course, you can help that over time by just learning. Like God gonna keep sending the same test, and if you keep reacting how you reacting, like you're gonna keep failing. Like so, me, I have that understanding. Like shit, everything is just another test in life. Me getting on YouTube every single day, getting on live every single day, that's a test for me. This is my test right now. Like so, I don't know how long I'm gonna be in this class taking this test, doing this, but overall, like it's all like just part of like when I graduate out of this life, when I look at my life review and I see how I did everything, how I maneuvered in life, like I'll be able to be okay with that for the simple fact, like even when I was doing my bad shit. Like even though I was doing fucked up shit a lot of times in my past, my 20s, 19s, like as a 30-year-old, I've came to understand like that wasn't on me. Like shit, what you expect to happen if you put a bunch of black people in an environment where it's poverty, it ain't no like it ain't good, it ain't nothing popping out there. Like so, crime, drugs, like what you expect for a black man to turn out like they've done multiple studies where that happened. Like shit, they was doing that when fucking Hitler was trying to murder all the Jews. Like they was doing studies on like putting a bunch of Jews in the projects. That's what it was called for. Like it was a project. So nothing comes good out of those type of projects. It seems like when bad things happen in life, it feels like the pain of it goes away. The pain, yeah, the physical pain, but not the memories. Why they take Enoch out the Bible? Well, for what I read, in these books so far is like some people was saying like this trying to discredit what he was saying. Like, yeah, the ghetto. Shout out to Miss Everson. Like the ghetto started in Jews and shit. But some people was like, hey, Enoch, that shit is fake. Take that out. It was discredited. And then some people were like, hey, this is real. Like just like the other shit in the Bible, bro. But it's all subjective to me. Once again, how do we know this shit is not created from somebody's imagination? Because once again, you was not there when Moses was seen that burning bush. You was not there when God created Adam and Eve. You didn't see it, Joseph. You don't know that. How do we know? Follows. I fuck with Tao. I fuck with Tao. Taoism. I read a couple books on that too. That's what I'm thinking too. Man, I want to remember all the good I did. Exactly. Like so, I learned from the good and bad in my life. So now I'm on the path of only like putting out good because I'm like, man, I don't want no bad karma to keep coming back. Especially as you can grow and evolve spiritually, your karma for the shit you do intentionally wrong, like it'll be like in my case, if I was to intentionally do somebody wrong, cause harm to somebody, like I won't be here that long because my karma for one comes quick, like so, and like it'll be sevenfold. So if I was just like I said to harm someone off fuck shit of me, like not something they did, not like I'm able to defend myself. I'm able like if you step to me, it's on. But if I go out of my way, if I'm being belligerent, if I'm being an asshole, if I'm like intentionally doing wrong, my karma is like way worse than the average person, like literally. So I try to stay on the right path because I got a lot of knowledge, I got a lot of wisdom. So with that comes a great responsibility. So I used to be worried about that type of stuff when I was like on my beginning of my spiritual awakening journey. I found out like shit as you evolve spiritually. Shout out to Red Squid X. As you evolve spiritually, your karma gets like worse because you know better now. Like the more, it's like you can't be dumb to it. You can't say, "Oh, I didn't know." What about revenge? You didn't get it. Revenge, that creates karma. Revenge creates karma. So if it wasn't somebody did something and then you reacted, like everything else, like that's gonna create karma, and that's how lifetimes a cycle repeat. Like so, it's somebody murdered me in my past life. Like they put poison in my alcohol, drunk it, died. If I was to react to that person, whoever they was in this life, because I'm pretty sure I met them, because that would be a karmic partner in my life, someone who did some kind of harm. They're still there because that's how this shit work. If I was to do harm to them, not knowing it was because they poisoned me in the past life, but just off some fuckery, like just I would get my karma. Like so, revenge. If you get your revenge in this lifetime, you probably won't see that revenge. Like somebody won't probably do something to you in the right now in this lifetime. But I'm 100% sure your next lifetime you'll be like you some shit that happened to you. You be like, damn God, why this happened to me? But shit, if people was more spiritual and tapped into their past lives and knew who they was, then they wouldn't have to ask that question. Like you, people don't understand before you're born, right? Nobody ever thinks about before they're born. They only think about the life and, oh, I'm about to die. I don't want to die. Nobody thinks about like before you're born. You sign a life contract. You know what's your name. You choose your name. You choose your features. How you gonna look. You choose who's gonna be what in your family. You know the bad shit that's gonna happen. You know the good shit, the accomplishments you're gonna like. You know all of this. But what it is, like I said, before we're born, we drink from this fountain of forgetfulness. So most people they don't understand what it like. They don't know it's the fountain of forgetfulness, I guess. But they drink it and you forget when you're born. Like it's like you got to start back over. And like as you're born, guess what? You got parents who forgot who they was. They don't remember their mission because they drunk from this fountain too. So being on Earth, guess what? You're being programmed by what everybody else wants you to be. Like so, and I'm pretty sure it ain't about like fulfilling your destiny, knowing who you are. Like it's people programming it is always to benefit somebody else's pockets. or whatever. Like, that's why I say God is all knowing because we already planned His own. Exactly, exactly. So we are all gods, low key. Goddesses, gods, not even low key. Like shit. And that just remind me of Thor and shit. Low key. But yeah, that, when you die, you remember everything. No, like you remember like who you are and like oh shit. Like when you wake up, you remember. When you sleep, like when you don't know, like that's like you still like basically haven't decided to wake up yet. So we all supposed to wake up in this. Well, we maybe not in this lifetime. No, we all supposed to wake up in this lifetime, right? But some people just stay stuck, stay forgotten, and stay like they let fear, they let things like religion hold them in a position that, like where they can't evolve. Like so, I'm not one of them people. Yeah, I read the Bible. Yeah, I listen to it, but I'm not a follower of it. Or celebrating happy that you made it. It's the birthday of this child. When you born, I can't say that. Yeah, cause I I know when you die they celebrate. I can't say when you born do they celebrate. Like yeah, that shit way super harder. So me, I gotta be on this right path. I know, but like I said, I know people celebrate you when you pass over, and you like did what you came here to do. I know, like it's kind of I don't know if they celebrate on your way over here because it's like you coming to hell. Like so, this ain't nothing to be cool, to be celebrating no shit like that. And so people are supposed to cry when the baby gets here and like celebrate when the person dies because they going back home. That's how it's supposed to be. Somehow people got it fucked up. The Egyptians knew that. That's why they was celebrating it. Like they was building their tombs, their whole like not everybody, but pharaohs and all them people who had power, money. Their whole life they were like setting up for the afterlife. Like they was building tombs, putting gold, all their treasures in there. Like for the simple fact, the afterlife was next. So most people are afraid to die now, so I don't know why. I don't have that issue. How they're sad on the birth. The mom is sad because she going through pain, but everybody else is happy. Me, I'm happy because for one, I'm gonna teach my kids the right shit. I'm gonna lead them the right way, and I'll let my kids know, hey, I'm not gonna be here forever. So when I do pass, celebrate it, be happy. Cause for one, you ain't gonna have me on your back all the time, like, and not just everybody, just my kids' for sake, like, cause I'm always on their ass, like. But for the average person, they'll probably cry when I die, cause guess I'm me. Like, should I give? I help a lot of people like spiritually. I ain't gonna say I be monetarily, but spiritually I help a lot of people. Like so, when I transition, it's gonna be like, damn, our God is gone. But that's why I'm here now, like basically preaching. So when I do transition, people don't have to like it, they can celebrate because they got the game. Like they was able to understand what I was saying while I was alive. Like so, I don't want nobody to be sad when I pass away.
Earth have begotten an impious offspring. You, being spiritual, holy, and possessing a life which is eternal, have polluted yourselves with women, have begotten in carnal blood, have lusted in the blood of men,
It
and
does.
have done as those who are flesh and blood do. These, however, die and perish.
See, the
Therefore
Bible
have I
says you
given to them.
perish. That's what the fear is. That's why people are afraid to die. They're afraid to perish. Their whole life, if they've been Christian, has been training. Hey, if you're a sinner, you're going to hell. And guess what? You're born in this life of sinner. You getting saved. is not gonna say you asking Jesus to forgive me for my sins when you know you still gonna sin tomorrow. Like you 95% of Christians would quote unquote go to hell if there was one. They would be in the lake of fire right now, but that's not the case. They reincarnate again, and this is hell. Like imagine, like I said, imagine the life you live today. If it's not the life you want to live, it's not, if you are not living your best life, imagine you dying today and then starting back over from a baby and then experiencing every single thing you did because you didn't learn. Like, would you consider that hell or like being in the lake of fire? I want a bell in my box. Got a bell you want in your box. But it's 10 people, 8 likes. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Exactly, like wasted potential. That you wasting a life if you don't wake up and know like what find out what your purpose on this planet is. If you don't realize who you are, you wasted a lot of time. I mean, it ain't really a lot of time because 100 years we don't. A lot of people don't get there, but that's not a lot of time in time because time is there is no such thing as time. So but when you're a human, 100 years like this is it seems like it's a lot of time, but as you can see, time goes by so fast now. Like it don't a year don't feel like a year in the 1990s and the 2000s. I'm telling you, that shit used to take forever. Like so that's why the karma comes quicker now because this time is like sped up. That's why it should be easier for people to manifest what they want more quicker because the times we're living in, like everything is happening more fast. That's why bad shit, you if you think about bad shit all the time, guess what? It's gonna happen more quicker. Like so understanding that, like my mind tries to stay in a positive thinking mindset and I try to think positive thoughts on it like all the fucking time. Oh, bell in your castle just in case you wake. Your flesh, once your flesh is dead, is dead. Hey, I remember that year 19. If you was ain't you 32, Mr. Everest? So you remember this. The year of 2000, people were so afraid the world was going to end. Literally so afraid the world was going to end. In 1999, everybody thought this shit was the end. And I didn't think that as a kid. I'm 9 years old. Like, the fuck, yo? Why y'all think? Who said it was gonna end in 2000? How y'all got that information? Down well over halfway through my. Yeah, but like, how the fuck do y'all think it's the end? But it was the end, exactly Y2K. I'm like, I'm 10, like about to be 10. Why my life gotta end at 10? Why I ain't get a chance to live an old life? I'm living. She's an old woman. I'm like, and then yep, 2012, it happened again. I'm like, man, what makes y'all don't? They said Joe Rogan posted something. He said, I mean, it was about the world ended in 2040 and then in 2060. Like scientists said one thing, and then like I forgot who the where the other thing came from. Like, but when Joe Rogan posts some certain thing, you're like, hey, look at that. But at the same time, it's plenty of other people who will quote unquote like the leaders and top tier people who thought this shit was gonna end. Or I can't say that they did. They ain't no telling. But that shit was funny. As a kid, 9 years old, like looking at the world. You know what it was? It was like I said, it was the end of the old world. Like, damn. Bet if you watching my live, can you bring a lighter? I be losing lighters like a mug. I ain't even gonna lie. Like 2,000 exactly. Like the only I'm telling you, computers and the internet took over at 2000. Once that happened, that's when life seems like started speeding up. Dang,
Wives, that they might cohabit with them, that sons might be born of them, and that this might be transacted upon earth. But you, from the beginning, were made spiritual, possessing a life which is eternal, and not subject to death forever. Therefore I made not wives for you, because being spiritual, your dwelling is in heaven. Now the giants, who have been born of spirit and of flesh, shall be called upon earth evil spirits, and on earth shall be their habitation. Evil spirits shall proceed from their flesh, because they were created from above. From the holy watchers was their beginning, and primary foundation. Evil spirits shall they be upon earth, and the spirits of the wicked shall they be
y'all start
called.
tapping into your
The
past
habitation
life
of the
in spirituality, and like tapping into real spirituality, not just the book, the Bible. Like if you really just start meditating, like start trying to unlock your true potential, your highest potential, and focus on that, man, you'll be like realizing you got some gifts in your life that you should have been like you've been sleeping on. Like so, me, I got a taste of seeing I had a gift in life, and I'm like, oh shit, I can unlock more of this in my life. Like I can, like there's more to this. So I didn't unlock a lot of shit in my, like a lot of my hidden potential. Like, and it's been like definitely like benefiting my life. So
spirits of heaven shall be in heaven,
I'm just
but
waiting on
upon
some shit to
earth
tell me the
shall be the
lottery numbers.
habitation of terrestrial spirits, who are born
Exactly.
on
We
earth.
take it. We
The spirits of the
doing our full
giants
potential.
shall be like clouds, which shall oppress, corrupt, fall, contend, and bruise
Make
upon
sure y'all hit
earth.
that like button.
They shall cause lamentation. No food shall they eat, and they shall be thirsty. They shall be concealed, and shall not rise up against the sons of men and against women, for they come forth during the days of slaughter and destruction. Chapter 16. And as to the death of the giants, wheresoever their spirits depart from their bodies, let their flesh, that which is perishable, be without judgment. Thus shall they perish, until the day of the great consummation of the great world. A destruction shall take place of the watchers and the impious. And now to the watchers who have sent thee to pray for them, who in the beginning were in heaven, say, in heaven you have been. Secret things, however, have not been manifested to you, yet have you known a reprobated mystery. And this you have related to women in the hardness of your heart. And by that mystery have women and mankind multiplied evils upon the earth. Say to them, never, therefore, shall you obtain peace. Section 4, Chapter 17. They raised me up to a certain place, where there was the appearance of a burning fire, and when they pleased, they assumed the likeness of men. They carried me to a lofty spot, to a mountain, the top of which reached to heaven.
I smoked so much, I got a callus on my thumb. Like that's the first. My hands are like soft overall, right? But I smoke so much from the lighter, flicking the lighter. Like it's on my thumb. It's kind of, it ain't raw yet, but it's like kind of hard. Like, oh no, I gotta kind of calm down on smoking because I don't like that shit. I like my shit to feel like all like just normal and shit. The receptacles of light and of thunder and the extremities of the place where it was deepest. There was a bow of fire and arrows in their quiver, a sword of fire and every species of lightning. Then they elevated me to a babbling stream and to a fire in the west, which received all the setting of the sun. I came to a river of fire, which flowed like water and emptied itself into the great sea westwards. I saw every large river until I arrived at the great darkness. I went to where all of flesh migrate, and I beheld the mountains of the gloom which constitutes winter, and the place from which issues the water in every abyss. I saw also the mouths of all the rivers in the world, and the mouths of the deep. Chapter 18. I then surveyed the receptacles of all the winds, perceiving that they had contributed to adorn the whole creation, and to preserve the foundation of the earth. I surveyed the stone which supports the corners of the earth. I also beheld the four winds, which bear up the earth, and the firmament of heaven. And I beheld the winds occupying the exalted sky, arising in the midst of heaven and of earth, and constituting the pillars of heaven. I saw the winds which turn the sky, which cause the orb of the sun and all the stars to set. And over the earth I saw the winds which support the clouds.
I saw the path of the angels. I perceived at the extremity of the earth the firmament of heaven above it. Then I passed on towards the south, where burnt, both by day and night, 6 mountains formed of glorious stones, 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south. Those which were towards the east were of a variegated stone, one of which was margarite, and another of antimony. Those towards the south were of a red stone. The middle one reached to heaven like the throne of God, a throne composed of alabaster, the top of which was of sapphire. I saw too a blazing fire hanging over all the mountains. And there I saw a
The word sapphire keep popping up. I didn't see all that, and then there's angels. I fuck with angels though, like, cause they talk to you. Like God, he don't talk to you. Most people think they like spoken to God or God has spoken to them. Nah, that's not the case. Like I've spoken to my angels, like guardian angels. I've spoken to my ancestors, spirit guides, but I haven't spoken to like the God of this Bible. And I was a Christian, and I was trying. I'm like that. I wanted to be a pastor, so because I thought the pastor got to speak to God. So because they always saying God told me, God ain't tell your ass shit. That came from your mind. Like motherfuckers be lying for that check. Well, it don't even be no check. It be cash. Man, if I was a pastor, bro, I'll be having church on Sundays, Bible study on Monday, fucking what else I be having? Revival on Tuesday through Wednesday, Thursday. Like man, we'd be in church 7 days a week. People be broke as fuck. Nah, I wouldn't do that because that's not leading people the right way. But that's what people do. Like I'm telling you, that's what the pastors do. I remember being in church as a kid, just all the time. Don't let it be a week revival, like a whole week. And my grandma want to attend all of them, and then you couldn't sleep in church. Like, but it was a reason I would do that because, like I said, in my past life, I hated Christians, so I had to experience all of that so I can get see why they was like that. I had a clear knowledge. It's called clairsentience, or just for some reason, just okay, it's a psychic gift, but I can't say. So if you got clear, if you're clairsentient, like it's clairaudient, it's a bunch of clear things. So, like if you got that, then you just need to tap into that more. You gonna start hearing more shit. Like literally, you probably people don't understand. Your ancestors, your spirit guides will speak to you in your thoughts. Like so, a thought will pop up in your head, and it'll be them who gave you that thought. Like or like you could be you ask a I'll ask a question and just out of nowhere, I'll hear somebody say the answer, or I'll see the answer. Or now, social media, how it is, like people know this. They know this. If you think shit, if you say shit, it's gonna pop up on your phone. So I like ask questions that I need the answers to in life. I I use it to my advantage. After listening to you, I'm more interested in my ancestors. I'm telling you, like, just imagine, like, if you got an ancestor like me, I have a bunch of ancestors that did, like, one was super spiritual. One was, his name was Metahochi. So, like I said, he brought African spirituality to America. And then I got one who was one of the first black scientists that graduated in America. So I have different ancestors that like did some shit and like was very great. Then I had like my dad who like died in prison. Then my little sister passed away at 26. Then my Gigi, she was a she was a housekeeper, but she had a whole lot of game, and she lived her life on her terms. Like she didn't ever work for anybody else but herself. She probably cleaned people's houses, but she did that on her terms. So like she had her own hustle, and like she had her house was paid off. Like she had cars. Like we always going on vacations. We were just living in the hood because it's cheap. Obviously, like why would she want to live somewhere with white people or the suburbs, and you gonna have to pay more money. Like she knew what she was doing. Like so, As far as ancestors, I don't just tap into my own ancestors. So I'm a big Nipsey Hussle fan. Like, and what I will say this though, like, start with the people you know as far as ancestors. Like, start with the people that's already around you, the ones that you feel around you, the ones that you smell around you, that you, when you think of them, you have memories. That's them popping up and letting you know they're still there. Start there. Don't start like trying to tap into like other shit. Like, so there's levels to it. So you never know who you come across on the spiritual side. I'm gonna ask them to step forward. See, be specific, very specific in what you want. I'm telling you, they're gonna work. Set up an altar. If you got a picture of somebody that passed away you was close to, get a picture, put it on like a counter or whatever. Set it up. Get a glass of water, cold glass of water. If they smoked a cigarette, smoke cigarettes in their lifetime. If they drunk beer, like if they drunk alcohol, put alcohol. They love alcohol. Ancestors love alcohol. Like, so, put a shot of alcohol up there. Just leave it up there a couple days. I watch what start happening in your life. I'm telling you, it will change. I'm telling you, your life would change for the better. You'd be like, what? I should have been like working with my ancestors. So, like me, I've been working with my ancestors since 2018, and it's been my I've been going up. Like, so, if someone say, "Hey, how you gonna call like me like believing in my ancestors of like Satan or devilish or like not holy, like, but I know they were here, like, and I know they're still here, and I know they're able to help me." Like most people, like, oh, you're not supposed to talk to the dead, deal with the dead, but you talk to Jesus, you pray to Jesus. Ain't he dead? Wasn't he here? That's considered an ancestor. Like, even though he probably ain't had no kids, like he's still a spiritual ancestor for living on this earth. Like, he's more of a ascended master. Ascended masters is people like Jesus, Buddha, Nipsey Hussle is an ascended master. Krishna. It's like certain people who like are legendary, like that you can't even say, oh, they, you don't even know if they really live, but they did, like, because that's how the story was created. Like, everything comes from someone hearing something, seeing something, like experience something, like, or just, I don't know. Sometimes they be creating shit in their own head, but everything you think will come into reality. Like, so that's the whole thing. Whatever you think, like, that's how God was able to create this world by speaking it. He thought it into existence. So nothing is fake. Like, literally, there is nothing fake because it was all like, if it comes from your mind, you can create it.
Place on the other side of an extended territory where waters were collected. I likewise beheld terrestrial fountains deep in the fiery columns of heaven. And in the columns of heaven I beheld fires which descended without number, but neither on high nor into the deep. Over these fountains I also perceived a place which had neither the firmament of the heaven above it, nor the solid ground underneath it. Neither was there water above it, nor anything on wing, but the spot was desolate. And there I beheld 7 stars, like great blazing mountains, and like spirits entreating me. Then the angel said, "This place, until the consummation of heaven and earth, will be the prison of the stars and the host of heaven. The stars which roll over fire are those which transgressed the commandment of God before their time arrived, for they came not in their proper season. Therefore was he offended with them and bound them until the period of the consummation of their crimes in the secret year." Chapter 19. Then Uriel said, "Here the angels who cohabited with women appointed their leaders, and being numerous in appearance made men profane, and caused them to err, so that they sacrifice to devils as to gods. For in the great day there shall be
plurals, devils, and gods. Like, that's why God the Almighty, He said, "I'm the God of gods." He knows there are multiple gods. Like, literally, He knows that. He's just claiming He's the head of them all because He's the one that's in power now. Like, first there's Zeus. No, first there was Ra and them, Osiris. Then came Zeus. They was the prevalent Greek mythology came, and then God, the Christian, like, He came and took over. Like, so he knows he's not the only one, but he knows, like, he know ain't nobody gonna test him. Like, he got more followers than him. He got, like, to see the believe. I mean, how many churches is that like that pray to him every day? Like, so it be like that. He not. I'm telling you, he not the only one.
Judgment.
That's why you need to find, like, if you someone said that dances, was that you said part Mayan, you shouldn't have the beliefs of this God. You shouldn't be, if you wasn't a Christian, you shouldn't be a Christian. You should be studying the Mayan gods, because they was gods too. Like, so tap in, and not just, you shouldn't just stick to one thing. You should try everything, learn, not try everything, but learn from everything. Like, even the things you're afraid of, even the things the world say no, that's bad. No, you're supposed to tap into all of that. I've got a lot different for me in the past 3 months since we come and see them again. Have peace again. I'm trying to stay focused. I'm working. I'm kind of stuck. You got peace. That's what matters. Like, you focus, but like, what goals are you setting to, like, if you feel stuck, then that means you feeling complacent. Like, you want more. Like, that's what it is. You want more. You know there's more out of life. So now you need to start searching for that. Like, what you want. What's it? Start by setting goals. Like, what haven't you did in life? What are your fears? What are your fears? What are you afraid of? That's where you need to start. People need to start, where are your fears at? And once you start knocking those out the way, like accomplishing your fears, then you're gonna realize nothing can hold you back. No, it ain't even first getting over your fears. First, it's when you say you want to do something, and that little negative voice in your head say, "No, you can't," or say some other fuck shit, and you were like, "Oh, you right, I ain't gonna do it." Like, once you get past that, then like the fear gonna like set in. Like, once you get past that, then you gonna realize, oh shit, all of this shit is illusional. It's all a mind game. Like, so obstacles is all imaginary. All of this shit is fake. Yeah, pretty so much unlike you said, looking for a voice. Exactly. Take the signal. Don't wait for the voice. Look at for the signs. Like, I go by the signs in my life. I see signs everywhere, just like on the highway, or just not even on the highway, driving in the car. You got the stop sign. You got the red light. Signs that's letting you know what to do. Like, but if you don't pay attention to those signs, guess what could happen? If you can end up in an accident. Like, so most people overlook the signs. Like, so, and that's because they're not trusting themselves. That'd be the big thing. So they finally found my lighter. I can finally smoke again. Wait, which lighter? I got two Leo lighters. You ain't see my Pisces lighter?
So what?
You ain't see my Pisces lighter?
No.
Can you get rid of this one? Because I don't want to mix that one up no more. Yes, we got it again. So I have to smoke and talk. I don't know. I mean, I could talk without smoking, but overall, like, I love smoking and talking. Sometimes being still is okay for it. Only for a season. But if those seasons start rolling around and there's years that didn't pass and you still stuck and you like, and not years, but when the seasons change, we're not talking about summer, fall season, none of that. A season can last years, or it can last months, days. Like, literally, a spiritually season, it's not based off the time that we based off days. Nah, it don't work like that. Like, so I've been actually still, for the first time, like, ever. Hold on. Hey, we all got a crazy life, but for the first time in let's say since 2013 to 2015, I stayed in one spot past a year. Like, the place I'm at now, and I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready to move into my house, buy a house. Like, but this is the first time, like, I've stayed, like, physically in one spot. But I've been every year from 2015 to 2020, 5 years straight. I've been moving constantly every year, sometimes twice a year. Like, so I've been a pop on a Rolling Stone for sure.
with which they shall be judged until they are consumed, and their wives also shall be judged, who led astray the angels of heaven, that they might salute them.
Oh, so the
And I,
women is they saying is basically leading the ain't led the angels astray. Women, actually, my ex-wife, she kind of led me astray because I was in the military doing pretty well, and I like she was the reason I got out. But I'm not gonna blame her. That's stop it, Kenneth, because that's you who fall into those Bible ways. A woman can't lead a man nowhere. It's that man who wants to be led. Like he's falling to his temptations. Like, but women, like there are women that can't if they can manipulate you and control you, they will. Like, but that's you letting them do that. Like so, and men do the same thing. Like so, it's not just on women. Men can lead women the wrong way. So, so these must have been some powerful women if they was able to lead angels astray. Like literally, how powerful was that pussy back then? Like shit. It made the angels say, fuck God talking about fuck heaven. I'm tired of this shit. The angels like, I want that. Like, I don't give a fuck about not going back to heaven. Like, that's why they don't. Earth is cool when you know the knowledge. When you got the knowledge. I'm pretty sure for angels or devils or whatever the fuck else spiritually is on this planet, they living the life they want to live. They got the best car. They got the best house. Like they doing whatever the fuck they want on Earth because they don't give a fuck about heaven. They already been there for the. They don't know. I don't know how long angels in heaven been around. Like so, they was ready for something new. They was ready to evolve, but God wanted to condemn them and say, "You motherfuckers ain't never coming back here." Like so, but who say they ain't created their own heaven? Once again creating their own heaven on earth. Like so, but God did say He was gonna destroy this bitch though. Cheerlead. So we'll see how that goes.
I, Enoch, I alone saw the likeness of the
But
end.
even then, God, how many times had God destroyed the earth, but mankind came back around and look where it's at. Like how many times do you gotta destroy this mud to let it be known like shit? This shit is just fucked up. You just gotta get rid of the whole fucking planet. Like can't have planet Earth no more because that shit is just a 3D dimensional and they all fucked up. Like so, God didn't learn his lesson like the first time he flooded this bitch. Yeah, so angels and them humans this is my first time hearing about that too. Like so to understand like if anybody's a fan of Kevin Gates, do anybody listen to Kevin Gates in here? Angels do exist. Like so, but in one of Kevin Gates' songs, I can't remember the name of the song, but he was talking about being a fallen angel and falling in love with a girl and being condemned and stuck on Earth. Like so, he was one of them 200 angels. I probably like how I was always lusting after women. I probably was one of them 200 angels that got kicked out of heaven. That's why I don't believe in a heaven. Like literally, I could believe y'all motherfuckers wrong because I'm a fucking angel that got kicked out of heaven. So hey, don't follow me. Like I'm just saying. I'm telling y'all, go get that bag. Like fuck all that other shit. Go get the bag. Evolve spiritually, like mentally. Evolve about this motherfucker and like don't follow shit. Don't follow no God outside you. Literally, I'm like against like y'all. Most people believe. I ain't gonna say y'all, but I'm like most against most people's like what they're brainwashed to believe. Like so, God in the Bible, He will probably hate me. He would probably consider. He would probably consider me leading y'all wrong. Like so, I will probably be condemned for this shit. So like, once again, you ain't gotta believe. Like, hey, if you don't want to tap into your ancestors, cool. Like, but at the same time, like I'm just saying, like speaking my truth. Like, you can't say, oh shit, he wrong if he said this. Like, shit. If you was here yesterday and you heard what the fuck I said, you would know like I'm not no regular person. Like, shit, don't expect me to like go with the world what the world is talking about or what the world believe in. Like, I'm not that guy. So I could become the motherfucking president. And they be like, that nigga's the antichrist off the strength of my beliefs. Like, cause that's how I was back then. I wasn't in church. Believed in voodoo and hoodoo because that's what my ancestors believed in. I was tapped into my ancestors. So Christians was like, that nigga sold his soul to the devil to get where he at. Like, so it may happen again. Like when I pass away, like they were like, yeah, he got where he was at because his beliefs was the opposite of what everybody else believed in. It resonates with me. That's why I'm here. Exactly. Like so. That's if anybody ever come across Bobby Hemmett, like what he says in his shit is gonna be like, wait, what? But I resonate with it, so I can't be like, I ain't about to walk away for like what I feel like I resonate with, because then that would show the programming in me. Like if I was to hear some real shit and like I resonated with it deeply, but goes against my beliefs, so I left. Like then that's showing you like you fall into your programming. So I do what the fuck I want, say whatever the fuck I want, think how I want to think. Like so, I encourage other people to like just be that way as well. Like you don't have to like believe in what I believe in. Just have your own beliefs. Think of your own crazy ass thoughts and speak that shit out loud and see if other people resonate with it. Cause I'm pretty sure it is. Like yeah, like so I like seeing what other people's thoughts is on life. Like cause I know I think of some crazy shit. Like that's why my family don't fuck with me like that. Cause when I be talking about that, they're like that nigga's deep part of the devil crew. But guess what? They the ones who living in hell mentally. Like so, I live in hell. I mean, as I said, look, I live in heaven on earth. I've created my heaven on earth. I'm trying to teach other people to do that same thing because you gonna keep coming back. Like so, we're the normal for sure. Like I'm the real normal one. Like everybody else is weird for following blindly and like not knowing who they are and not being woke and shit like that. But me, like I'm fucking normal to me, and like, it's a lot of other people I know who like got that type of mindset like me. So I'm like, shit, it be the world that be trying to talk down on you and make you look bad. That y'all the weird ones. Like the fuck y'all the weirdos. Pe- People been calling me crazy my whole life, starting with my family. Like literally, I've been called crazy my whole life, and then I've always embraced it. Literally, I literally always embrace people calling me crazy. So I'm like, wait, you think I'm crazy? Well, oh well, like shit, I don't give a fuck if you think I'm crazy. Shit, that just means I'm not like y'all. Like literally, I stand out. Like I've always stood out, not even trying to, but just off the strength of like me being me. Like so, I ain't never just want to follow no path. But when I was in church as a kid, I was just trying to make my grandma and Gigi proud. So I was trying to get saved, get baptized, to be in the choir. I was trying to do all of that shit just to like get that recognition in the household. But like knowing as I got older, like that shit didn't work. Like I couldn't impress nobody by like getting saved. Like so, I mentioned yesterday about catching that fake Holy Ghost in church in my 20s because I wanted to fit in. Like shit, that shit is real. Like I always wanted to like hear God. I always wanted to be truly connected, but I felt like I was kind of like outcasted and cut off. It was like God wasn't hearing my prayers. Literally, it was like God didn't hear my prayers because, like Enoch said, like the angels and them and the watchers of heaven asked Enoch to talk to God for them, and God was like, "Nah, y'all cut off." Like so, it felt like I was cut off from the source of this God. So when I turned to my ancestors and they was working, I'm like, fuck you. Like basically not I don't feel like that no more, but like it was like I had to learn like how life was for me, like my true beliefs. My true beliefs is not a religious belief. It's like to believe in self, like ancestors, spirit guides, guardian angels. Like I know the angels fuck with me. Like I said, I talk to angels, but God don't talk to me because I feel like I was one of the 200 angels that like fell in love with a woman, and God was like, "Fuck that." They was exposing the knowledge of heaven. That's what I'm doing today. Like so, I'm basically a fallen angel. Like, and I understand that because off the strength of all my past lives, like who I've been, I've always been somebody great and somebody spectacular. But this is hell. Like so, you shouldn't excel on this earth if this is hell. Like that's bad, and you're supposed to be the opposite. Like a Christian, like most Christians don't want to be like great. Like they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be rich. They don't want to be wealthy. Like so, for me to like reading the book of Enoch, I realized I am like how Kevin Gates is like I'm part of the fallen angels. Like I said, I love women. I love my wife. I love my daughters. Like so, hey, I'm just venting. Like I'm just having epiphanies. Like oh shit, that's why God don't fuck with me. That's why I wasn't hearing him. It's going to be a two joint night. Which no, we got three tonight. We got three. So we can we got. I mean, I had time yesterday, but still, like now that I'm having this epiphany, like that's why I've always been considered like my older brother, will always consider call me like, are you a? He would ask me, are you a demon or something? Like especially when I first start turning spiritual, right? Like, when I first started waking up, I started buying chakra beads and stuff like that. Wearing I dyed my hair blonde, like, cause I was just realize waking up. I'm like, man, like this shit. I gotta break out of this fucking cycle. So I dyed my hair blonde, started buying chakra beads, like started just sharing spiritual shit, talking about ancestors. And he thought I was like on some demon shit, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I'm on some positive shit. Like I was following the law of attraction path. This is what led me. Like I started meditating. Like I woke up, and it was like he seen me wake up, and he was like, "Oh no, I can't have him around." Like, that ain't cool. Looking like Cheech and facts, like, and I love Cheech and Chong, especially the first one. Hey, go watch my brother video, Jinx the Rebel video. Smoke a blunt. He does the Cheech and Chong scene in it, like straight up. So that's what hot boxing, spitting game, talking shit. Like, but to understand, I'm a fallen angel, and it's 200 of us. Like, so one of y'all probably a fallen angel. You never know. You never know. But to know, like, shit, I never had that connection with God. Like, literally, never had that connection with God, and that's because Enoch said, like, you won't be heard. Like, so I'm still going against God. Literally, I'm still by loving women, by having a woman, because he don't want his fault. I mean, he told Abraham and them to have kids, but that's because he wanted followers and worshipers. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of his people. So technically, I go against what he stands for. Like he don't want y'all to know about. Like he don't want you to be woke. He don't want you to be conscious. He just wants you to worship and follow him. That's not me. That's not how I want the people around me to be. Like I don't want you to be no worshiper or worshiping just anybody and anybody you think got a gift. Like shit, don't worship me. Like just because you think, oh shit, that you know I'm going somewhere. Like, but I can't help when people do that sometimes because I know who I am. Like I'm a god. Like most gods, they want you to worship them. I don't give a fuck about you worshiping me. Like, cause I got my own power. Like so, and I'm here in the flesh. Like I'm actually see that's the difference between God and the Bible and stuff. And like not this. I'm not saying I'm going against him. Like I said, I believe in him. I know he true. Like shit, I was in heaven before. That's why I'm like, you can create your own heaven on earth. I don't want to go back to that heaven. It's not fun. Like that. I said it plenty of times in my life. I'm like, I don't want to go back to heaven. I mean, I not go back, but I'm like, I don't want to go to heaven. How they explained it, cause it ain't it ain't cool. Like shit ain't fun. What is so fun about heaven? Huh? What? not feeling when you die, you don't feel pain, you don't got this flesh, you don't get sick, like, and you're still here. But what's the difference with heaven? Knowing you gonna reincarnate, or knowing you can go anywhere in the galaxy, in the universe, like with your beliefs, you can go anywhere because there's life out there. It's not just like it's not just clear skies and fucking stars. No, it's there's life everywhere. Like, so you can't just see it with your physical eye because it don't work like that. Like, you got to think outside the box when it comes to this. So, like, understand tonight is a full moon, and like me we're having an epiphany. Like, I'm like, I read a lot of psychic books that talk about what you're talking about. Yeah, like, that's because you're on the right path. So, but knowing tonight is a full night, and like I'm actually like realizing like I'm a fallen angel. And yeah, I know what I was researching today. Actually, I watched a video act of it today too, but it was about Led Zeppelin and like the what was it, Stairway to Heaven, Start and the fallen angel. Did Jesus let us know more about where we go? Exactly. God don't want you to know. He wants you to know. Hey, first of all, if you're born on this planet, you're a sinner. And like the only way you can get saved is just through Jesus Christ asking for forgiveness from your sins. But every God don't truly save you from doing that sin, repeating that sin. Like, haven't you noticed like if you sin and you pray and ask God from sin, like He didn't deliver you from that shit. You just kept doing it, then just kept asking for forgiveness. Do you think God is hearing you, or do you think Jesus is hearing you? If that's the case, like if I'm praying and asking to be delivered, then why ain't that the case? Like I was finally delivered when I stopped going to church. Like when I started focusing on spirituality, on myself. Like I'm like, so if church and religion ain't working for you, oh by the way, Liz has a book out called Ooh, I should need to check that out. But to understand, like they was fucking with Robert Johnson meat, so and that's another thing. I was watching thing about the 27 Club. I forgot the name of the video. Actually, I can pull it up right now on YouTube. But somebody finally figured out. Said the curse of Led. I don't know. The curse of Led Zeppelin music's dark side. Now they released this video 11 months ago. I've been talking about I was Robert Johnson since 2019 when I first found out who I was. But they was saying like how Led Zeppelin like was tapping into like my shit, hoodoo voodoo, and they was putting sigils on their shit and it was working for them, but it led to their demise. But they started talking about me and it was explaining how I truly didn't sell my soul. My beliefs was voodoo and hoodoo, like I talked about plenty of times. So I don't know if somebody heard my podcast and like, hey, his this sounds like the truth. This it like people know the truth. Like people truly know. Like man, this guy ain't nobody else. You ain't hear not one person ever in their life said they was the reincarnation of Robert Johnson. Like so for me to actually say I'm that and I got the proof, like the actual proof within the details of like shit. Yo, I was born in Atlanta, Georgia in this lifetime. In last lifetime, I was born in a place called Hazelhurst, Mississippi. The in distance is 413 miles apart. Like I googled it off the strength of me fucking like I googled it off the strength of like me just being like whoa. But it's 413 miles apart. But if you flip that around, it's 314, which is my birthday. Like once again, I died last my last lifetime, August 16th, 1938. My father in this lifetime died August 16th, 2001. In my last lifetime as Robert Johnson, my mom left me with other family while she did what she did. In this lifetime, my mom left me with my grandma and Gigi and did what she did. Like so, the same cool, like the same repeating life cycle like was the same thing, except I didn't do music. I didn't play the guitar. So I'm gonna start fucking with Led Zeppelin too, like they music too, cause but it led to their demise because you can't tap into like hoodoo and voodoo and like you really don't like if you haven't did your study, if you haven't did the work, like it's levels to it. Like so they was using that shit to blow up that music and make them legends and live on, and it worked. But ain't no telling what happened, like what they was playing with. I only know their name though. Like I only knew Led Zeppelin off the strength of their name. I never heard not one song. But when y'all mentioned that cover with the fallen angel, that would made me go research, and then today a video popped up of Led Zeppelin, like once again, like off the strength of me fucking manifesting the shit or the shit hearing my voice or my phone picking up my shit. A video with Led Zeppelin and Robert Johnson was on YouTube today. So I get everything that I asked for, not only what I asked for, but what I need to know, what I need to watch. I just gotta follow those signs. Like I could have easily scrolled past that Led Zeppelin video and not paid attention to it, but it had my face on there. And you know what? One of the pictures that I took in as Robert Johnson, if you see like my son, my oldest son KJ, like not now, but his younger pictures, he looked exactly like how I was in my past life, except he's light skinned and I was more dark skinned. If you read about Robert Johnson, anybody who knows about Robert Johnson, he was a smart person. He knew how to write, knew how to read, like well dressed, well mannered. Like I'm telling you, I always repeat. Like this time I waited like 50 some years to come back. Most time, like I said, I wait probably like 100 years, 150 years to reincarnate, because I don't have to reincarnate as quick as most people. Most people, as soon as they die, the next year they coming right back as a baby. Like so, that's not the case for me. And next, like this lifetime is like my last lifetime. You won't see me again. Like people just know what I did because all the work that I created, like the videos, the podcasts, that will live on forever. So people won't ever be able to say, "Oh, he wasn't real. He was fake." Nah, like this shit will live on forever, and you will know I was black. Like I said what I said, and I meant what I said, and like I stood on that shit. So that's what I just encourage other people to do. But to understand, like for me being a fallen angel, that's fucked up. Different ways too. Exactly. They may say, ain't no telling what they probably try to say I was 1,000 years from later. But to understand me being a fallen angel, it's kind of fucked up. But at the same time, not really, because like I said, I don't want to go to heaven no way. Bro, I feel like you the black version of me. Hey,
Of all things, nor did
that's
any
why you
human
here.
being see it as I saw it.
That's why you here.
Chapter 20. These are the names of the angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels, who presides over clamor and terror. Raphael, one of the holy angels, who presides over the spirits of men. Raguel, one of the holy angels, who inflicts punishment on the world and the luminaries. Michael, one of the holy angels, who, presiding over human virtue, commands the nations. Serachiel, one of the holy angels, who presides over the spirits of the children of men that transgress. Gabriel, one of the holy angels, who presides over Ikisat, over paradise, and over the cherubim.
Yeah, we all the same, low key. Like low key, we all marry each other from some standpoint. Like whether it's like our mindset is the same, whether it's our background is the same. Like we experience a lot of shit. Like or we love the same music. It's something that connects each and every single one of us. Like I seen this movie with Will Smith, and it's called The 6 Degrees of Separation. I think that's what it's called. But I tried to avoid watching this movie for so many years off the strength. Like I knew Will Smith had like he did a gay scene, and then I wasn't trying to see that shit. Like so, one day I come in the house and my wife got the movie playing. Like just all I never told her like about like me not trying to watch this shit, but she got it playing, and it catches my eye like off the stream. Like oh shit, this shit good. Like so it was the Will Smith's character was basically living like in rich people's houses, telling them he knew their children, and he was Sidney Poitier's son, and like he stirred up so much controversy where they call him in the bed like one of the people's bed like with a random dude, like, and I'm like that was the shit that I was trying to avoid, but the movie was so powerful, it had a message in it. So like to understand like on this level, Nipsey Hussle is like my favorite rapper, right? Never met him in my life at all, but I'm connected to James on Curry, who's a former basketball player who's connected to someone who's connected to Nipsey Hussle. And James on kind of favors like Nipsey Hussle. Like so it's all like less than 6 people away from like my favorite rapper. Like so it's crazy how life works out like that.
Chapter 21. Then I made a circuit to a place in which nothing was completed. And there I beheld neither the tremendous workmanship of an exalted heaven, nor of an established earth, but a desolate spot, prepared and terrific. There, too, I beheld 7 stars of heaven, bound in it together, like great mountains, and like a blazing fire. I exclaimed, for what species of crime have they been bound, and why have they been removed to this place? Then Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, and who conducted me, answered, Enoch, wherefore dost thou ask? Wherefore reason with thyself, and anxiously inquire? These are those of the stars which have transgressed the commandment of the Most High God.
I'm sorry,
And
y'all.
are
I gotta pause this again, but off the strength of just like being a fallen angel, like I've been following the signs, right? Like I've been seeing fallen angels for a while now, just not paying attention. I've been seeing the Book of Enoch for a long time. Been hearing the name Enoch, but I finally started listening to the book. It's coming together like it was telling me to listen to this book to let me know who I truly like, who I was, why I have this disconnect from God, why I don't want to go to heaven, why I believe in telling like the secrets of the universe, why I want to build up my kingdom on earth. Like it's just letting me know like, oh shit, I was part of his crew. I just fell in love with a woman. And that was my biggest sin. And now I overcame that. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Like so I follow the signs in life for real. Follow.
here bound until the infinite number of the days of their crimes be completed. From thence, I afterwards passed on to another terrific place, where I beheld the operation of a great fire, blazing and glittering, in the midst of which there was a division. Columns of fire struggled together to the end of the abyss, and deep was their descent. But neither its measurement nor magnitude was I able to
You know what's
discover.
fucked up? I feel like God keep trying to like he probably tried to destroy me a couple times, but I keep reincarnating in like the time where he missed me, but he destroyed the world. But somehow I just like keep coming back. Like so, I'm telling you, as a kid, as a grown up in the Marines, I prayed to God almost every single day, and I never like felt a connection. I felt more of a connection to Jesus still to today, till this day. I feel more of a connection to Jesus for having the balls to come down on this earth. My whole thing was like, God, like, why you ain't down here? Like, why you send your only begotten son to like sacrifice? Why you send him to do the dirty work? Why you ain't sacrifice your own self? You know you can go back. Like, so I'm finally like now like, whoa, shit, this shit really is deep. Like, man, like no wonder I'm kind of probably stuck on this planet. But like I said, I've evolved to the level like it's bigger than like God. Like God ain't the top dog. Like it's like I got beef with my brother. Like literally, it's the same beef like I got with I ain't. Let me let that. be clear. I don't have beef with my brother. We just gotta disconnect. I don't talk to him. Just like with God, I don't got that connect because it's like I be burning my bridges. It's like I be burning my bridges. That book put on a exact. This book put me on a fucking trip that made me fucking realize another past life. Like that's what it is. That was another. That's just another past life. That was I wasn't created by God. We probably was friends. I probably was part of his crew. But guess what? I wanted to be my own. I wanted to do my own thing. I don't want to just be under God. Yeah, you cool. It was cool for a minute. Yeah, it was cool being under my big brother for a minute. But at the same time, I wanted to be my own. I want to be my own king. Like, so that's why when I reincarnate, I've been Pharaoh. I've been the king. I've been an emperor. I've been the greatest. Because, man, I want to do that for myself too. I don't want to just be under somebody else. Like that's why I'm me, and people hate me for that. Like, and I don't understand it because you a guy yourself. Why wouldn't you want me to be a guy myself? And you know there's multiple other gods. Like so, hey, this shit brought out a lot. Like, but that I'm glad that I've been doing this every single day, so that if I had been non-consistent or procrastinating like I was in the past years, and that's what people wanted me to do. They wanted me not to post every day. They wanted me not to get on live because when I talk and I do consistent, like greatness happens. I'm telling y'all are watching greatness right now. Like 10 years from now, and y'all see this video, I'm like, man, he was not lying because I know who I am. Like, and I understand God don't fuck with me, but this is this is Earth. I can create my own heaven. I am my own God. Like, what the fuck? I already know. Like, if I die, the least thing, I'll come back on here, and I'll still be able to be great. Like, literally, I'll still be able to be great even if I come back here, and I'll still be able to keep my knowledge. But I don't have to come back here because I don't have to go to heaven either. I can go wherever the fuck I want in the universe. Exactly. Like when they can't control you anymore, like they despise you, they hate you. Like so, hey, I don't want to. I'm not just a foot soldier. I was a soldier. I mean, I wasn't. I never claimed to be a soldier. I was a soldier in JROTC in high school, but I was a Marine. Marines, we don't call ourselves soldiers. That's the Army. Like so, me being a Marine, I just don't want to be a Marine. I don't want to just be a corporal. Like it's a sergeant above me. It's a staff sergeant, first sergeant, master sergeant, then you sergeant major, master. Like it's so many other ranks before me. Even though I'm above like a private first class, and lance corporal, like that's only 3 ranks I'm above. Like then I got like damn near fucking 20 other ranks that's above me. Like so, I don't want to be just another fucking soldier in somebody's army. Let me create my own shit and let's see what we can take over. Like literally, let's see what we can take over. Like so, don't even let exactly. Not just your day, but your mind. Don't even think about them. Like shit. But that's hard because hey, there's Earth and people be thinking about you or be talking about you and you hear it. So you got no choice but to think or say something like, cause that's just how that shit works.
Neither could I perceive its origin. Then I exclaimed, "How terrible is this place, and how difficult to explore!" Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered and said, "Enoch, why art thou alarmed and amazed at this terrific place, at the sight of this place of suffering? This," he said, "is the prison of the
Sure.
angels,
Like you
and
gotta
here
know
they
who
are
you are, be
kept
aware of who you
forever."
is.
Section 5, Chapter 22.
That's what
From
it is.
thence I
I
proceeded
felt
to an...
for me, it's like when I get what I want, what I need to know out of this shit, it's like, okay, I'm done with the book. Or whatever it is. Once I get what I need from it, I don't even finish the rest. I need to learn how to like stop doing that and let myself know like it's more to go. Like it's more like just because you think you got what you got, like it's more of that. Like so don't just get comfortable just because you found out you're a fallen angel. But that was gonna make me go listen to Led Zeppelin, like for sure. Like so that I was going to go more on it. Like well, probably wasn't like now. Like I've learned that that's just like I said, that's just another past life. That's not me. Like what happened between me and God, quote unquote, because like I said, I know I'm a fallen angel. Like I got what happened between me and like shout out to Omarion the Great coming through. But what happened between me and Big Dog, like shit, that is if you watch Lucifer, just watch Lucifer. You probably kind of explain it better than I can. But like he not mad that I'm doing what I'm doing, like, cause he understand, like, shit, this is how this is. Like, man, I ain't the only person. Like, he created, he didn't really create this. He just claimed he created it. Just like Zeus claimed they created it. Just like Osiris, Ra, Isis, and them claim they created it. Like, the all created it. Listening to Led Zeppelin and smoking, just getting into it, just like. Oh, I'm gonna definitely check out the Dark Side of the Moon too. Like that's been something that's been popping up too. So I didn't know it was like I equated it like when I hear the Dark Side of the Moon, I think of the Transformers, the movie. Like so now that you mention it with that, I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna listen to Stairway to Heaven and the Dark Side of the Moon because those are two songs like that that's pulling at me now. Like so.
Another spot where I saw in the west a great and lofty mountain, a strong rock, and four delightful places.
Yeah.
Internally, it was deep,
I'm gonna listen
capacious,
to it.
and very
Who mentioned
smooth.
who said the show about the yogurt yesterday, like the yogurt taking over. I watched it. Like who mentioned that? That was funny. It was only like 6 minutes, so I was expecting. My bad. The fuck was that, right? But oh damn, that made it distracted me for what I was talking about. Damn. So that I wasn't supposed to talk about that, obviously. Like so, I guess I can't talk about that. But I go off sounds like that, like so something like that. That was distracting me for what was on my mind. Oh, it's live for sure. For sure. Like this shit is definitely live. Like so everything like that is popping up right now. Everything I'm saying is not pre-planned. Like nothing that I'm saying was I didn't plan to say none of this shit. Literally. That's what my lives be about. Most people they're vlogs, so they think about it, they plan it. Like every day I get on here, I never know what the fuck I'm gonna say. Never have no type of expectation on nothing else. Yesterday I said some people's beliefs is that the God of the Bible is the real devil. Like I didn't expect for me to say that. Like so the things that I say when I get on here is like real live time shit and like it's off the top of my dome. Like so these is real thoughts that's popping up in my head. I'm having real epiphanies. Like shit, I'm having like real signs. Like so I really use those I really go off those signs. So I'd rather people do that more than like try to like finally hear God. Cause if you ain't been hearing God like I've been hearing God, it's time for you to start following those signs. Like, see what those signs lead you. Like, and I'm telling you, they're gonna start popping up more and more. Whether if you seeing repeat numbers, like I see 1111 a lot. I see 333, 222, 1010, fucking 11. Like, I see repeating numbers every single day. Signs exactly. So, like me, I'm not a religious person. That's why I said I'm not a follower. God don't fuck with me. I got love for God. I'm pretty sure he got love for me too, cause he ain't killed me yet. Like he could have been took me out, but overall, like I'm a fallen angel. He don't hear me. Like I talk to Jesus. Me and Jesus cool, but dances tonight. You said 555. That's the one I've been seeing lately. Like, hey, crazy story about that 555. But I'll tell that another day. But that's been popping up recently, and that It's change. That talks about change and ending. So with endings, there's always a new beginning. There's never just the end. Nah, there's a new beginning. Just like TV, those shows don't stop. Just like life, it don't stop.
as smooth as if it had been rolled over. It was both deep and dark to behold. Then Raphael, one of the holy angels who were with me, answered and said, "These are the delightful places where the spirits, the souls of the dead, will be collected. For them were they formed, and here will be collected all the souls of the sons of men. These places in which they dwell shall they occupy until the day of judgment, and until their appointed period. Their appointed period will be long, even until the great judgment. And I saw the spirits of the sons of men who were dead, and their voices
Life
reached
don't
to heaven
stop.
while they were accusing. Then I inquired of Raphael, the angel who was with me, and said, Whose spirit is that, the voice of which reaches to heaven and accuses? He answered, saying, This is the spirit of Abel, who was slain by Cain, his brother, and who will
Spirits, they
accuse that
talking about
brother
spirits.
until his seed be
They talking about spirits. To y'all hearing? They talking about Abel came back. I ain't never heard that in the Bible. Why they taking this out the Bible? Huh? Why are they taking stuff like this out the Bible?
destroyed from the face of the earth, until his seed
You know why
perish
they
from the
took it out the
seed.
Bible? Overall, because they knew I was gonna come back and reincarnate. So then, he can't hear the book of Enoch. Don't let him hear that, because he gonna wake up quicker. Because I would have resonated with a fallen angel. Oh, y'all ain't hear what he said about Cain's spirit? I know y'all heard. Yeah, Cain's Abel's spirit. Let me, let me rewind it and then plus play again.
And I saw the spirits of the sons of men who were dead, and their voices reached to heaven while they were accusing. Then I inquired of Raphael, the angel who was with me, and said, Whose spirit is that, the voice of which reaches to heaven and accuses? He answered, saying, This is the spirit of Abel, who was slain by Cain, his brother, and who will accuse that brother until his seed be destroyed from the face of the earth, until his seed perish from the seed of the human race. At that time, therefore, I inquired respecting him, and respecting the general judgment, saying, Why is one separated from another? He answered, 3 separations have been made between the spirits of the dead, and thus have the spirits of the righteous been separated.
Did you hear that? Abel's spirit was like, I want Cain's spirit gone. Like, do you hear that? Like, his spirit still got hate for his brother. Like, so do you understand? Like, they've been reincarnating. That's why that story is always repeating. That spirit is always within brothers. Like, I am not calling myself Abel, and I'm not calling my older brother Cain, but we are separate. Like, we went our own ways. Like, so, but to understand, like, Abel feel like that, wouldn't you feel like that too? Like, shit, damn, I ain't do shit to you. I was doing what God told me to do. I ain't know nothing about jealousy. I ain't know nothing about favoritism. The fuck? I'd be just like fucking Abel too. Like, destroy that motherfucking seed. Like, like, but I'd never heard that. Why they ain't in the Bible? Why ain't that in the fucking Bible? Why did they take this out? And next, we're gonna have to listen to the one about Jesus where he was turning people into trees when he was a kid. Yeah, like, I'm on her way different. Yes, I like Jerry and stuff, but I'm not like him. Like, I'm the complete opposite. Like, so people don't like, a lot of people. I'm gonna just speak my fucking mind. Like, if he watch my shit, oh well, what the fuck? Like, I'm pretty sure he don't want me to fucking blow up. Like, I don't. That's the energy I feel from him. Like this is just one of my rants, but it's a full moon as well. Like, so I'm gonna just blame this shit on the full moon and some weed. So that's what it was mentioned in one of the books that we're gonna read. But like, I always felt like he didn't want me to like shine. Like he didn't want like because as kids, I'm telling you, I used to get favorites by my grandma and Gigi because I was used manipulating them to like basically they was religious, so I did what I knew would make them happy. Like they wasn't my other siblings didn't see that. Like so, like I said, I'm about to blame this shit on the full moon. Like so, I feel like my brother don't want me to fucking get on his like on anywhere level near him. Like, cause if the world like imagine if 8 million people heard me talk. Like imagine if it was 100,000 people in my life every fucking night. Like, do you know like what that would do to the fucking world? Like, so for him knowing like I can maybe one day outshine the big brother, like that's a big brother's worst fear. Not me. I got a little brother who blew up way before I did. It was no jealousy or hate. I was happy. I'm like, oh shit, he did it. I know I can do it. Then when my older brother did, I'm like, yes, I was bro, I would talk to everybody about both of my brothers, whether it was music or YouTube. I was always saying, hey, go watch them, go subscribe. I wasn't even on YouTube, didn't give a fuck about YouTube because had kids. I had way more kids than both of my brothers. Like still to this day, I have the most kids out of my siblings. Like so, but I was always like wanting them to be better. But it was like soon as I woke up and my brother starting to see me change from the person who I used to be, just the quiet, not like saying like shit like that, but he started seeing me become like me. And you like, I gotta suppress that. So he fell off. He didn't want nobody to know. He didn't say my name at all on his YouTube for years. I'm telling you, he didn't say my name for years. And when he did, he'd lie about it. He'd say some he'd mention it, but it wouldn't be the full truth. Like so, I'm like, I held a lot of shit in me like just over the years, but it's a full moon now. Like so I'm gonna just speak on it. Like so whatever happens after this, that it's not on me, it's on a full moon. I'm spiritual. He knows that. Like so if you get mad, I feel like he already been like low key like mad at anyway. So does your older brother feel the same about your other little brother? See, that'd be like I can't speak on their business because I didn't go through what they went through. Me and my little brother would have to be in alive, and then like yeah. But my little brother is not like me. I'm the super open, truthful, like that's me. Like if you watch my brother, it's a lot of exaggeration in his content because he's an entertainer. It's for like it's entertainers for the kids. Like me, I'm for the adults. I'm for the ones that's woke, that's for like that got a mission and a purpose in life, like that's here to change the world. Like so what he does, that's for him. Like it works for him. That's why he's so successful. Like that's why I couldn't ever be jealous of my older brother because I can't do what he do. I don't want to do what he do. That's not me. Like I am like Kenneth. Like Kenneth is like spiritual. I talk about past lives. I talk about meditation. I talk about the law of attraction. I talk about encouraging and like uplifting the world. I talk about waking people the fuck up. Like he doesn't do that. He couldn't do that because that's not his character. My character is my character, and it's the total opposite. It's yin and yang. Like so, understanding that and knowing that, I'm not mad that I'm not in my brother's life, no matter what. Yo, I never spoke on like a certain shit tonight, but tonight is different. So it's a guy named D'Lo in my brother's videos, right? Positive mind, like positive minds. Like it's a guy named D'Lo that's in my brother's videos. Cool. D'Lo is like he was my little brother's best friend first, but he ended up being my older best friend over time. I don't know how it happened. Don't care. But D'Lo is super cool. D'Lo reminds me of myself. Every time I watch my brother's videos, which I still watch every day, like every time he drops a video, I'm one of his biggest fans. Like so, D'Lo has been around my brother probably 2 or 3 years. Like so, over time, D'Lo has went through what I went through dealing with my brother. Like so, D'Lo has been handling it way well than I have. Like but the way my brother has treated D'Lo, like it was like when I was living with my brother, I was kind of getting like breadcrumbs from him. Like I would always like he'd have me going to the store, different chores, and I would just get his change. Like so, as I woke up, I'm like, man, this ain't my character in life. I don't want to be that no more. I deserve more. I want to be the star of my own show. So once we had that conversation, like he blew up. And then another thing, like what he was like saying, what my family was talking about, they was saying how my daughter Athena wasn't my daughter, like, cause she was super light skinned. But mind you, y'all seen how my wife looked, like, so, like, just because my daughter's not brown skinned like me, like she's not mine. So like that call, like that made me feel some type of way. Wouldn't it make you feel some type of way? Like this was before her teeth came in. Then she looks exactly like me. Like so, y'all know how my daughter looks. But like they was like making me feel like less than, like, well, not just they but him ultimately was trying to like suppress who I was. Like I said, he seen the change, and that change came from him. Like it sent that inspiration came from me watching him, like knowing I could create the best for myself, like by watching my older brother. Like so all the things that he went through, like he wasn't telling me like what to do. He wasn't telling me, hey, do this to be successful. Like he was kind of like hiding the information for whatever reason. So I'm like, man, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna go and get it on my own. Like so when people say, they will always ask me about my brother, I'm like, I don't know because I'm not around. Like so and I never spoke on this situation. Like this is like the first time like speaking up. Like in that one of the last conversations we had, I told him like and he mentioned it on his YouTube. I told him, I'm like, man, you never he my brother has always been a ladies man for one. Like so when his he got with royalty, I'm like, she may have therapy class. She may have put something on you because you've never been like that connected to a woman like that. And I don't know, I'm not gonna say it was the truth, but I'm gonna say this. Like my intuition don't lie about none of that. Like so I need to put my stuff on the charger. But my intuition don't lie about none of that. See, something didn't want me to talk about this. That's how that shit work. That's how the that's how that demon shit be working. The chosen one. Yeah, I know I'm the chosen one. He know that too. Like I said to my brothers, I was brought into this world without you. And I'm like, facts. Like I understand my family is my family, the ones that I create for myself. It's not the one that I was born into. How you feel about colorism in the that colorism in the black community is like real, like real. But colorism is that shit is 100% real, especially within the family. My mom is dark skinned. I ain't trying to expose their business or nothing, but I'm pretty sure like it's been like stuff that happened between my mom who's light skinned and my mom who's dark skinned. Like just I know that's a fact just seeing it up close. So I didn't even like I said I didn't expect to talk about none of this, man. I was expecting to listen to this book of Enoch, but to understand I'm a fallen soldier and to understand I don't believe in what the world believe in. I'm a I'm basically against it. I'm against the programming because I understand it's meant like to make people worshipers and slaves, and like that's not cool. Like like, that's not cool. Like so, what that shit is real, and I'm gonna only tell my truth. Like I ain't gonna ever lie to y'all about nothing. I'm not gonna exaggerate nothing. Like this shit is like all the 100% truth. Like so, if somebody pick this up or hear certain shit and try to make it what it ain't, it's a trap. It is like religion is a fucking trap. Like so, me understanding that and knowing that, I'm not about to let myself fall into that trap. And I tried to save my family, but some people love the trap they in because that trap is where they want to be. But that shit'll slowly kill you. Like so, and I got like I felt like spiritually, like something told me spiritually, like my brother was like, I ain't gonna say he's Cain, but that energy is the energy. Like so, me like and knowing his character, he don't want me to shine. He don't want me. He don't want. I think that's why he buy a lot of Jerry. I think that's why he's so flashy. Like I think it's like is we talking about some internal shit. It's going back to childhood. He knowing like how I was, and if I ever reach my potential, like I will outshine him because I always did. Like, and this is not a diss or anything. Like this is just me going off my remember. I remember being the kid who was making the straight A honor roll. I remember being the kid that got what I remember wanted. I remember him like not liking that. Like I remember me waking up and him trying to suppress that. Like so, I'm like everything that I'm recalling is like he gonna have to tell me what it really was for me to like get an understanding. But for like from me right in my perspective at this point, I'm like, man, it's like that big brother who don't want his little brother to shine. And I'm like, I'm not mad because I got my shit on my own. I'm at 21,000 on my own. I didn't need no clout. I didn't need to try to expose my brother to build my brand up. I got 21,000 subscribers on my own like thing. So for me to finally speak on this, like as you know, like it's a full moon. I'm releasing. This is a release. This is my therapy. Like so, he gonna have to tell me what it really was, but I haven't talked to him in years. Like so, I'm going off like, hey, this my perspective. This is like I seen things. Like so, if he never explained what it was, then like this is on record on YouTube, the biggest platform, and I'm pretty sure as my platform grow, this shit is gonna it's a moment like for real. Like this is one of those moments you're gonna remember for the rest of your life. Well, not just y'all, but I'm this is one of those moments I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life, and I'm pretty sure my wife is like, damn, he finally spoke on it, like, cause I'm telling you for years, I held on to it like off the strip. My wife like don't speak on it, like just leave it alone. You don't want to like build off like no type of thing like that. But it's positive minds only, ain't it? Like this shit is only positive. Like I'm not this ain't no negative shit. I'm not doing this out of jealousy. I'm not doing this out of hate. I'm doing this off the strip. Like I'm having an epiphany about who I am, about a past life. Like it's the right time exactly. So y'all seeing like this is all natural. Like I started this mug on the book of Enoch. Everything I'm listening to has been led up to this point. Like so it's all aligned. And watch, my life gets way better after this point. Watch, it's gonna get way 100 times better because I finally like let it go. I'm moving forward. Like I never have to work. Like you would never like I would never try to depend on my brother for nothing. Like so when D-Lo got and when my brother bought D-Lo car, I used to always want my brother to like to at least give me one of his cars. Like that was like one of the least things I wanted. He let me drive him, so I was happy with that. But just he had like up to like 10 cars before. And I was just like, man, I just wish my brother would give me one. Like, cause I had lost my car when I first, hey yo, when I first moved to Vegas, I moved out here in a 2013 Nissan Altima. My fucking AC stopped working out as soon as I moved out here, and like, it's Vegas, summertime, 120 degrees every single day. Like, so even if I got the windows down, it's hot. Like, and my brother knew that, and I'm like, he never like I mean, I didn't want him to buy me a car. I'm like, man, just I'll take the Camaro. Like that was like the one like he let me drive every day. I'm like, I'll be good with that. Like, but he never. I mean, he not supposed to. At the same time, like that's what he worked for. Like, who am I for him to give me anything? Like, so that was just me at 28 thinking like that, having that mindset. I'm 32. I don't think like that no more. Like, but me like just looking back on life and he just bought D-Lo his a car, and the car he bought before now that I think about it, he probably did that shit on purpose to make me feel some type of way. He bought a Tesla, right? And it was the Model Y, and he didn't like the car. He was shitting on the car, and then he took the car back, and he got D-Lo's car, which is a Chrysler 300. Now he knew the Tesla is the car that's my favorite car. Like he knew that. Like I was trying to manifest the Tesla when I was living in his guest house, right? And I didn't tell him about it, but the next day, like he rented a Tesla. Like so he let me ride in the Tesla. I didn't drive it, like, but he let me ride in it. So I was super happy off the strength. I'm like, man, the law of attraction is real, like no matter what. And I knew he didn't get the Tesla off the strength of trying to like make me feel less than because he didn't know like at the time a Tesla was my favorite car. I just ended up telling him that. So when he traded in that Tesla and like talked about it real bad, it was like he was trying to make like he was trying to discourage me from getting a Tesla or something like or what or trying to like down talk a Tesla, but I don't give a fuck. Like if I buy a Tesla and he try to shit on it, man, I'm buying this for me. Like I ain't trying to impress no nigga or no female. I don't have like childhood trauma issues. I'm not trying to impress nobody. I don't need to be the center of attention all the time. Like that's the. I know that if he was to see this, he would try to fight me. But no, if he was to try to put your hand, if my brother was to try to put his hands on me, I would spiritually make him lose everything. Like let's just get that straight. If you're watching this, if my brother CJ So Cool is watching this, if you try to harm me in any type of way, any type of way, whether you try to send someone or you try to get your girl to do some type of spiritual work, attack, or whatever, just know I am spiritually protected. I have an army behind me. I will. It would be the opposite of what Cain and Abel. Like that's just me. Like finally, like saying speaking on it. Like just because I'm pretty sure, like if he was to see this, he'd be mad as fuck. But this is me speaking like the truth. I'm not lying about nothing. It's just like, what the fuck you want me to do? You want me to just make up some shit, exaggerate some shit to make a lot of people who like me and follow me? Nah, I'm good. I'm protected. I shit. Like, amen. Like, I'm an angel. Like, literally, I'm a real angel in this bitch. Like, you can't hurt me. You can't harm me. Even death wouldn't stop me. Like, what the fuck? You couldn't even. You know how God destroyed Egypt, right? He took out Pharaoh's child. He took out the first children, right? I'm so spiritually protected, right? I'm so detached from like material, from earth, because I understand even my children are their own spirits. They reincarnate as their own souls and beings. They could be karmic children. So even if my children, one of my children, anybody in my life, not just my children, even if my mom was to pass away, even if my wife was to pass away, leave me, I'm good. I'm good. Understand? Like I came in this world alone. I would die alone. I'm okay with death. Like you couldn't harm me whatsoever. Like, and for me to be saying this is because he's internally thinking it. Like I'm not making it up. I'm not exaggerating it. Like understand from my journey, the things that I talk about are supposed to be said. Nothing is an accident. Like I don't lie. Like I'm the truth. I really am the chosen one. I'm finally like letting y'all know. Yeah, I am him. Like even God tried to suppress that from me. Like just off the strength of me listening to the book of Enoch, but there's no equivalent to a king today. What the president? Should I or do I need to become the president in this lifetime to like prove my fucking point? Like, do I need to get in politics and like just work my way up, like to let people know like I'm the one? Like, what y'all want me to do? Like, but once again, I'm not following nobody's like. I ain't trying to be no what nobody else doing. Like, no need for emotion for that. What become the president? Nah, I ain't about to do that shit. But yeah, like even like the family that I'm in, like it's a this family is supposed to be like rich and famous. It's supposed to be the top tier family. But we go through shit too. Like the fuck I can make a movie about my fucking life. Like if I was to turn this my life into a movie, do you like or a TV show? Like the fuck I bank off this shit. Like dealing like I can't even say probably I wouldn't compare my life to the Kardashians, but if I was to make my life a reality show to get picked up on TV and people like to really like get a dive, not no scripted shit, like really like real reality. But for me to if even if I was the scripted just to tell my story, like people would be like, "What the fuck? This went on? Like that happened?" Like for me to be telling the stories on my channel, like what yesterday I talked about him like walking out my girlfriend's house with his shirt off. I'm like, I don't be getting on here to like expose that shit. Like even when I started my podcast, I didn't get on there to like tell none of those fucking stories or none of that shit. That shit just started coming out. And it was guess what? Full moons happen every what 28 days. Like so, if you just look at all the shit I dropped on the, bro, I'm gonna start going back and listening to what I fucking said on the full moons, like whether it was on my podcast or whether it was on my YouTube. I'm gonna just whatever I dropped said on the full moon. I need to start monitoring to like the energy out like that's like being brought out of me. Like so, I need to be able to control shit like this because once again, this was something I've been holding on since like 2018. Like so, but I understand if you hold on to shit, that's how it explode. Shit get bad, get worse off that shit. So I didn't expect for me to do it when my platform was at 21,000. Like shit, I was trying to do this like to blow up my channel. Like just I was thinking, I'm like, man, if I title the video CJ so like me just exposing what happened between me and my brother, I'm like, I know that'll blow up my channel. Make it the title like something like I was thinking to do that. Like I was had that in my thought. Like man, this is what I should do. But then my wife was like, nah, don't do that. That you don't want that type of energy. So for me to be doing that, I'm not gonna switch up the title. This is still like the Book of Enoch. Whoever hear it, hear it. I'm not whoever share it. Like whoever come across it. Like I'm not about to switch nothing up. Like yeah, I'm not trying to bring no drama to the page. Like literally the full that's why this world operates on it like it do. The full moon brings out that drama. What they say is like the freak nah, that's the freaks come out at night, but if crazy people come out on the full moon or whatever, crazy shit happen on the full moon, that shit is real. That energy is real. Like so. I did not expect this. Didn't want to I wasn't I mean I've been wanting to talk about it. I ain't even gonna lie. Low key I've been wanting to talk about that shit. But I didn't. Like literally, I didn't. I was like, let me hold on to this shit. So for me to finally release it, say it, speak on it, it was the time. You can't be mad at me from like what speaking what's on my mind or what's on my heart. I ain't say nothing bad or negative. Exactly because exact 100% sure. And, yo, my daughter had wrote something about classes and session, right? And I'm like, man, I need to start. I need to steal that from her. Like, but I forgot. I need to go back and see what she said because I'm like, man, my daughter Naya, she when she get older, she gonna be just like me, and she gonna be like speaking her mind exactly how I'm speaking. I'm like, man, I need to equip her, make sure she good. Like nothing can harm her. And this we talking about my stepdaughter. Naya is my stepdaughter. So for me to be mentioning her, like saying like she need to be ready, that's because that's the one like she's whew, she liked me. like she got me. I mean, she studied me. Like she been studying me like what 5 going on 6 years. Like so, shout out to Eric Lewis. Lewis, hey, you just missed the you missed the good part. You missed that good part. But we good. Oh, let me see if my tablet wasn't charging. I don't want it.